Jai Sai Ram, and welcome to today's Sai Karuna Talks. We're joined once again by Dr. Surendra Upadhyay, who is well-known in the Sai family as a pioneer of international medical camps of the Sathya Sai International Organization UK and as a member of the International Medical Committee. Dr. Upadhyay is an ophthalmologist that has been coordinating SSIO national and international medical camps and health awareness seminars all over the world since 1985. He is an honorary professor and consultant ophthalmologist at UCL in London. Dr. Upadhyay has organized and led free eye treatment camps in India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Russia, Bosnia, Zambia, Kenya, and in South America. He had the honor and privilege of working closely with our beloved Sathya Sai Baba and also with Mother Teresa. In his volunteer medical service, Dr. Upadhyay says that he experiences that service to man is service to God. He has elaborated on the meaning of sacrifice, as described by Sathya Sai Baba, as to love and serve those in need without any personal reservations or expectations and to the best of one's capacity. At the 2017 SSIO International Medical Conference, he was one of the 14 healthcare professionals and 2 volunteers recognized by Dr. Narendranath Reddy, Chairman of Prasanthi Council, for their outstanding contributions and long-term dedication to Sathya Sai Global Health Mission and the practice of Sathya Sai Ideal Healthcare. Following on from the wonderful experiences Dr. shared last week, such as the treacherous journey to a medical camp up in the mountains, the arrival of an electrician, and also the gentleman with leprosy, that was just in one medical camp, I'm really looking forward to hearing Dr. Upadhyay's talk. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Brother Waza, for your wonderful introduction. I don't think I'm worthy of these words because I've been inspired not only by our Lord, but also of such wonderful volunteers who has been my support. And before I start, I'd like to offer my humble salutation in the lotus feet of our beloved Lord Brahmachari Sai Baba and salutation to you all. Swami is our greatest motivator, and he is our greatest inspiration. And if you look into the world, you will never find anybody else or any organization who has done so much, but it has not been published or is not being shown onto the television. That is called service, not to accept anything, name, fame, but the work goes on. And what normally we see, actually, the work here and there and read, it is like a tip of the iceberg. I said a few weeks ago when I was giving another talk, and it is very important for us to know that there is so much work is done by the Sai organization in every field, not only in the medical field, education, spiritual field, Narayan Seva, social services. There is no organization in the world, spiritual or any NGOs, who has taken a task of creating a dam on the face of the severe drought in Rayalaseema district. You look into the history of the pages, there are very wealthy spiritual organizations all over the world. I don't want to name them, but has anybody ever seen the challenge that when the people of Rayalaseema came to Swami and asking that nobody else is there, you are our only resolve. And Swami said, I will do it if you do it. Swami wants people to really work for their own need, and then Swami's blessing comes. There are plenty of examples. I have gone through this during my journey of the service, supported, very well supported by many of the people who have inspired me. I mentioned few incidences last time. But you know, one of the greatest thing about the Swami, that as we all say, that his life is our message. And he really leads the way for all of us to learn. And I've seen with my own eyes, and I remember 1985, Swami's 60th birthday medical camp. The whole world is descending into Prasanthi Nilayam. People are coming from all over the world, huge gathering. And that Swami has arranged 60 medical camps. for 60th birthday. 60 villages were selected. And these were not the medical camp alone. There was veterinary camp, social services, Narayan services, looking after the poor, giving the rickshaw and the wheelchair to the people who were physically challenged. I don't call them disabled. Swami said they are not disabled. They are more able than anybody else. Probably through the talk, I'll remember some of the incidents and talk to you about it. His main aim is, Swami has always says, think what your body is for. And he gives a beautiful example. Look around you, what the nature is doing, and learn something for that. And there is a beautiful shloka. I'll explain to you. Paropkaraya paranti vraksha, paropkaraya duhanti gavaha, paropkaraya bahanti nadya, paropkaraya idam sharira. What that means, look at the trees. They give the fruit, but do they ever eat themselves? When the fruits are there, they're right. You throw the stones. And what do you get? You get the right food, the sweetness of the fruit. You cut the wood to make the shelters and use them for all the things, papers and everything like that. But they don't ever say no. They give each and every part of their body, the flowers to make your life more fragrant. They give the fruit to enjoy the taste. They give the wood to shelter. Have you ever learned? They don't have any expectation. On the top of that, they get the stones, challenges. When you are in the service of the Lord and you are selected as an instrument, be sure there will be challenges. Hanuman was selected actually to go to Lanka, and you know how many troubles he has faced through when he was just flying over the ocean. He has to face Sursa, he has to face Sihanika, he has to face another demon Lanka, and he was also humiliated in the court of the Ravana. He would have thought, what have I done? I am Rama's messenger, has come to do his work, and look what is happening to me. And you know, the tale is like our, we write so many of credential after our name, so and so, MSc, PhD, DSc, Oxford, whatever it is. So monkey's tail is the representation of that. And that's the most prestigious thing. And they wanted to set fire unto that one. But he did not complain. Oh God, you have sent me for something. What may come, I'll complete your. And Swami says that whenever you are in my service, I will protect you. Yoga, Shema, Vahami, wherever you are. These tribulations and tests are there by others to see whether you are really one of the instrument of the soul. Take it. When the challenges come, it means it is God is watching you, and he knows that he is my instrument and he will go through, and Hanuman did. And you know the reward for his protection when his tail was burning. Rama has already inspired him to inspire Vibhishan to come for his rescue. And at that time, you all know the story. Rather than killing him, Ma Saraswati sits on the tongue of Ravana and says, no, instead of giving him the death sentence, just put fire onto his tail. He did not take as an humiliation and insult. He was kicked by the small people in Lanka, but he was smiling. I am here for my master's job. That is the lesson we have in our Swami talks. And that's why, look into Hillview Stadium, the statues there of Lord Shiva and Zoroaster and Buddha and all Krishna and all these statues. But on the top of that is a statue 65 feet of Hanuman. One of these days, why Swami chose 65 is not because it was Swami's 65th birthday. It is the 65 qualities of Hanuman. One of these days, if there is a time, I will go through each and every quality what Swami has told about the 65 qualities in the Hanuman. That's why it is 65. It is not just in the measurement of 65. That's why he wanted to show the world. If you want to be my servant, be like a Hanuman. Do not expect anything, but do the service. But Sai Rama will be with you. And I had some of the stories which I'm going to share with you. So just I was telling you that 60th birthday, the whole world is descending into Prasanthi Nilayam to celebrate the beloved Lord's birthday. So much preparation was going on. But when he asked for something to be done, he is more concerned. He's more focused than probably those people who are doing his work. This is the mother of Sai love. We were all gone to the villages and working. And I remember early in the morning, he will come to the Shanti Vedika, take the 2 coconuts in hand, breaks them, and put the water onto us and say, "Go monkeys." We did not realize till the birthday, uh, his course, why he called us monkeys. We thought probably he's calling us about monkey mind. He will not retire. He will not eat till the last person from the camp, which is miles and miles away, will return back to Prasanthi Nilayam. Once he is assured that everyone has returned safely, has eaten, then he will retire and probably eat something. You all know how little he eats. That is the love of Sai Mother is. And this is what he wants us. If you want to lead something, you have to lead like him. Brother and sister, that during this period, I have seen the Swami is concerned about, people were concerned about the function, but Swami was more concerned about what was going into the camp. He took care of each and everything which was going into the camp. That is the love of the Sai Mother. And there is so much in the world. There's so many books are written by so many scholars, so many devotees in so many languages. I don't think there is any person, any personality in the world who has got so much written about him. But yet there are so many unknown things we have not seen. And this is something actually just I wanted to today relate to you, that when Swami puts you for any particular work, he is not only our strength, he is the one who gives you the motivation, he gives you the strength, he gives you the opportunity, and also he makes the time for you. And then on the top of that, he guards you and he guides you. So many times I've come back from the medical camp, and when Swami wants for the report, I'm asking, Swami says, "Santosham," and then suddenly he said, "Why this is happening?" Thousands of miles away, Swami is sitting in the Puttaparthi, and I am further away, and Swami knows each and every thing what is going on. And this leads me to a small story actually, that what goes on and what touches our heart and what the situation he puts us through to learn from a very, very small people. As Brother Waza was mentioning about the Sri Lanka, Bosnia, and other places, I suddenly remember actually some of this story. And Sri Lanka is one of the story, really, it was a very touching story. Sometimes you do not require the medical specialty, but you require the Swami's love to deal with the situation. It was, 3 minutes destruction, and so many people have lost their families and everything. Some people have lost everyone except anything is left. And such dreadful, stories probably you must have read and seen on the television what the tsunami has done. And it's not these people were poor. Some of the people were well-to-do, but when the tsunami came, took everything from them. And one of the places we were working actually, and we had about 5 camps set up into this thing. One was in Columbus, then we were in Trincomalee, then one was also in Bavania, and then was those people who knows this place in Mulativu and Kulamanai, all over the Sai organization. And our work was so beautifully recognized by the Sri Lankan government. I remember one of the health authority came and told us that there are tsunami of the doctors are coming from all over the world, and they are writing the medicine, same medicine in different languages, French, Germany, and other languages which we cannot read. And these poor people are not actually ill. They require something very different. Is it possible your team can sort out this thing? And Swami has told them, given simple instruction. Just make sure that you care with respect, and I want the quality work. 3 words he used: care, with respect, and the quality. And that's he provide the situations also, and no doubt about it. Our volunteers done a wonderful. One of the youth has tested the eyes, one of the optician, you won't believe. In one day, he must have seen more than 400 eyes. Why the eyes in the tsunami? Just think about it. What was the reason people are doing the eye test in the tsunami? Think about those people who have got a very high power. old people who job depends on reading, school teachers and the people who are working in the office. Everything washed away, including shops in their houses. Nothing was left. These classes become their lifesavers. It was prescribed and given to them with such a wonderful. If there was time, I might show you a small clip. There is an old man came. He said there were so many camps arranged all over the place, but the way the volunteers have brought me with great care and respect, given me the chair, glass of water, and asked, "Sir, do you want to eat something?" Even my son has not given me the respect what your organization given. My salute to Sai Baba, who has trained the volunteers to love and respect the people. And look at the word. This is what Swami told us, and now I am hearing from this man. Because Swami knows what situation you're. You should not forget what Swami tells you when you're working. Similar situation, I will never forget that situation. Some of our volunteers were distributing some crisp food and some cartons of juice. And there was a 9-year-old girl. She collected her share of one carton and some sandwiches and some dry foods. And she looks quite dehydrated herself. She has not eaten anything, but she didn't look that she was from a poor family. So I was watching her. She went there and gave it to the little sister. So I told the volunteers, call her and give another because she has got a little sister about 5 years of age. So the volunteers called her, given her another one. I was still watching. She did not drink or she did not eat anything. Put in the bag and sat down there. I could not resist myself. I went there and I asked, "How are you?" She was very scared. Can you imagine? Just the previous night, she probably had a wonderful house, mother and father, and giving her a call. "It is getting dark." Whatever her name was, "Come inside." It is gone. And food is ready for you. Mother has fed her and then tucked them into the bed. This is just previous night it is happening. Both mother and father and their relation is completely swept away by this dreadful disaster called tsunami. This girl till then was taken care so lovingly. Now she has got nobody, no known face there. And then Swami says, when you are there, use psychology, not psychology as we use in medication. It's called SIACOLOGY, psychology. And the psychology is the psychology of just touch. Said Sai Ram, touched her. And I asked, why you are not eating? He said, you all people will go tomorrow. I do not know whether I'll get the food or not. I want to keep this for my sister for tomorrow. This little girl, she may be fighting with her sister yesterday for a chocolate. Today, suddenly, this little 9-year-old girl has a mother of that 5-year-old. That is what the disaster is. You have to learn something from them. This is what exactly it is. And that's why Swami has started this wonderful program of not only just finishing the camps and go to make sure that rehabilitation and looking after these people and find out everything. And it went for many, many years. Probably you have known that how UK's Sathya organization, UK or international organization supported these people to get their rehabilitation boards and houses made in all this. This is how we call that Swami's quality work. This takes me to another story you just mentioned, but it was about Pakistan. This is called the sacrifice and dedication. In Pakistan, there is a place near Faisalabad, a place called Gojra. And this Gojra is very famous. There's most of the, hockey players out of 40, a team of 11, 5 or 6 come from that poor village. But they're very good in hockey, but it's very, very poor village. And my lifetime dream was to visit this place for 2 reasons. One of them, the first eye operation was carried out by one gentleman called Mr. Singh some about 80 years, 90 years ago. Those days, the camps for eye operations were performed in the camp, first cataract operation, so that becomes like a pilgrimage for me. And the second thing, it was very close to Harappa. Our civilization, Indus civilization started from near Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. So these are the two places. So I wanted really, was very much interested. So Swami has made it possible for me to see where our Aryan civilization is started in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. So this was Harappa area. But that is a different thing that Swami's reward to me. But the story goes actually that there's a huge camp. I think it was unique. We examined about 11,000 patients during the period of that medical camp of 10 days and operated on something over 1,000 patients. It was really fantastic to see how it was arranged. But most important thing, one day I was in the clinic and one young man brought a lady and she was not able to walk properly. So he was carrying her on the back and she brought, and I examined the examination. I really was very surprised. There is a simple disease, very simple, which can be removed by just washing the hands properly and keeping away from the dust. It's called trachoma. And the trachoma has really taken her eyesight away. Both the eyes will become absolutely opaque, can't see at all. The only treatment, no medicine will work, is the eye transplant, corneal transplantation. That is the only thing one can do about it. So I thought this gentleman was her grandson or some relation. I said, I'm very sorry. In this medical camp, it is not possible, but I'll make the arrangements for her to go to a bigger hospital where somebody can donate the eyes and she could be operated. He said, this volunteer, sir, she's not my relation. I was asked because I'm helping in the medical camp as a volunteer. I'll just tell in Urdu because it's so touching. Then I will translate because sometimes the translation does not really reach to her. What he told me, I just could not. Still, it sounds in my ear after so many years. He says, from this time of Ramadan now, so I think it's very appropriate. This story came to my mind. He said to me, Doctor, Allah ने मुझे दो आंखें दी, एक निकाल कर इसको लगा दीजिए. God has given me two eyes. Why you don't take one and give it to her? She is no relations of him. Look at the sacrifice. Paropkaraye palanti vraksha. Give, but don't accept anything. You would have gone there. This is the beauty. And the second part of that shloka is Paropkaraye bahanti nadya. The river flows, but never takes water for herself. Give the water to all the cities by the bank, and people put all the dirt into that, but the river is still its focus flowing to the sea. And the third word, Paropkaraye duhanti gava, means that the cows, they give the milk, but they never feed themselves. Have you ever seen cow drinking its own milk? Nowadays, the business people are such that they take the milk first and then only the calf will get a little milk. That is how selfish the human beings are. And the last thing said, Paropkaraye idam shariram. This body is for helping others, for the service, Paropkaraye. Upkar is on ourselves. We want everything for ourselves. Swami used this word, Upkar. You come and give me everything. We always go to the people with open hand. Have you ever seen Swami? Always raised hand, give, 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 give. That's what exactly. And this is what I have learned into the camp. These poor young volunteers. Later I came to realize he was a rickshawala. He just volunteered his services to help the people. Not the rickshaw, auto rickshaw. He's a bicycle rickshaw. And you will not realize actually how this bicycle rickshawala. It also reminded me another story when I talk about the rickshaw. While I was working in Mother Teresa and I had a project, I thought I saw these people in the scorching sun of Calcutta, and the temperature is about 46, 47, and the tarmac is completely actually, tar is melting. And these rickshawalas, these are the human rickshawalas those days. They have big people sitting in the back of the rickshaw and they're pulling. Those people who have seen this Dobi Jameen, Balraj Sani probably remember that story. If you not see that picture, that shows the plight of these people. So I saw these people who were running barefooted. So I asked Mother Teresa, we wanted to arrange some shoes for him. He said, go and ask them whether they will accept the shoes. Don't give something which they don't need. Service should be service of the need. And I said, why will not accept? It is such a hot, roads and everything. I asked, and they said, "Sir, we don't want the shoes because we'll slip. Our feet has become so accustomed that we can take the load and run." That's what exactly Swami says. When you do the service should be of need, not for the convenience. Whatever you have, you give to them. The Swami says, explore, then implement. Explore and then implement. And this brings me to another story, that that service of the need. It is about the youth again. This is 2004 medical camp in Prasanthi Nilayam. I talked briefly last time, but that one incident is touched. We had a young man in our team. He had some kidney problem, and he will go every day because that time there was some problem in the renal dialysis unit in super specialty in Prasanthi Nilayam. So the patients were referred. So this young man will go every day to Bangalore, get the dialysis, and come next day to serve into the medical camp. Every single day. Nobody knew he was doing on his own. These are the people who inspired me. And there was another person in the same medical camp, a young man. One of the medical camp was in the field. I think I've already spoken, so I'll cut short that how he was wrapping the hot metal sheet with the bed sheets in order to protect, the feet of the villagers who were coming to the medical camp. This shows that spontaneous love should flow from you. And then who knows who's the recipient? Is not the person, the one who resides in that person. Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. This takes me to another story in Rajasthan. We're doing a medical camp, and somebody has left a small baby, only a few months old, and we could not find anything. Before we could inform the police, luckily we had the pediatrician. They examined and found that the hemoglobin of this baby was less than 4 grams, which is very critical. I don't know how the baby survived. So immediately it was arranged for her to take to the hospital. A couple of our volunteers took the baby to the hospital, and the general hospital was not a possibility. We said, wherever you can find, go to private hospital, we will arrange the payment. So, and they needed a blood transfusion, and they say, private hospital, we do not have the facility, you have to arrange the blood yourself. They did not realize this is nothing to do with it. The child was found. Meanwhile, we took our host took all the proper care, informing the police. The child was found. They were investigating. But our main job was to save the life. They wanted the blood. These volunteers, they decided to give the blood. Fortunately, why these two people went whose blood matched? Think about it. Other people could have got whose blood. Swami selects the instrument. Swami knew which person. Angad could not cross the ocean. Jamwan could not do it. Nal Neel could not do it because their job was different. Hanuman was supposed to do that. So these two people whose blood Swami knew will match, they had given the blood. And on the top of that, later I came to know that these people in the private hospital want you to pay for your blood test, whether your blood has got the same group or the compatibility or not, and also that you do not have other problems that you cannot give the blood. They happily paid from their own pocket. Never mentioned. I came to later on when I was trying to settle the bill. So they say, no, it has all been settled by those two. This is how this thing. You do so quietly that your right hand must not know that what your left hand, or what left hand must not know what your right hand is doing. That is how Swami says sacrifice. And naturally, the problem was, the story doesn't end. Swami brings so many people in that drama. Now the problem is they wanted somebody to be with the child. Luckily, there was a young lady from Leicester, and she is not a medical person. She's just a volunteer to help us. She decided to go every single day to look after that child. Can you imagine? Swami arranged the right blood group and right volunteers and a lady in the group so that she can look after that child. And you can probably well imagine that child was taken proper care. This lady from the Leicester really looked after and helped. And this takes me to another very touching story in the Rajasthan of one of our own young volunteers, and she went with us. When she decided to come to the medical camp, I was slightly concerned and worried about her. My concern and worry about her was that she had a condition for which she required the blood transfusion every few weeks. And this medical camp was in a very, very far remote parts of Rajasthan. You have to almost cross half of the desert, called Thar Desert, to go on the other side. Name of that place was Ao. Now, Ao in English means come. Hardly anybody used to go to that village. They've got a very amusing names in Rajasthan. So this was the name Ao. And knowing her condition, I was slightly concerned, and I was praying every single day it should be all right. But Swami also gave us such wonderful opportunity. Actually, through someone, we may have something so unusual that you could not comprehend that what is in store for you. Every morning when we get up there, you don't have to worry about the alarm clock. Those days, there was no mobile phone. You have to set the alarm. But in that place, you've got so many beautiful peacocks. They will come with their sound and the vision of the peacocks. You will all get up. These youngsters used to go on a nearby hill and sit there and watch the sunrise there and sing Swami's bhajan. I also joined them, and we were sitting there and were watching. The sun was about to come. The sky was just getting a little pinkish red, and the sun came up like a red, huge globe sort of a thing. And at that time, this girl started singing Brahmanda Nayaka Baba, Chand aur Suraj tumne banaya. Very appropriate. And at that time, not only her, every one of us saw that from that beautiful orange sun and orange robe is coming out. Swami's darshan in the desert, thousands of miles from there, just to prove why here, one, I am here. Probably you all know this girl. She has got no fear when she's serving. She did her doctorate, works in the oncology department. She has conducted many of the ceremonies as a master of ceremonies in the Sai organization, our own Anila. This is so wonderful to have the people like them, that they really have got that inbuilt strength and faith in Swami that nothing will happen to them. And that leads to me another story of another girl, and she finished the medical camp in India. She is a very important part of my team, because this is one of the departments which is most sought in the medical camp. Maximum number of the patients comes in that department. Young girl, and she was my team leader in that department. She came to the medical camp, and when we came back, she was not feeling very well. So naturally, that is usual in UK GPs and hospital. If you have come back from India, they've got only two things to think about. Either you've got malaria or you've got a typhoid. And it takes so much time to investigate. Malaria is negative, then another blood sample, typhoid negative. By the time almost 3 or 4 weeks have gone, her condition was getting worse. Naturally, she was admitted on the top, teaching hospital in London, and parents were very worried. I was also very worried, because deep inside me, I had a guilty thing. I hope that she has not got some bug there. But I knew very well it is not possible. Prayers, what friends, family, and everybody is doing. They've got a great devotees of Swami. I can't mention their name, but they had full faith in Swami. Now see the drama of the Swami. The hospital is not able to diagnose yet what is her wrong. They're still investigating in that line. One weekend, there was a locum doctor. Can you imagine? And that too, an Indian locum doctor comes on the ward, saw this girl in intense pain, and started going through the notes. And immediately he said that something is missing, why they have not done that test. And he arranged that test, and they came to the diagnosis. If it was not done by that person at that time, result could have been very fatal. I can assure you that. But this is what exactly is. Yoga Kshema Vahamiyam. Swami says, I am there. He said, Na jaane kis base mein Baba mil jaye Bhagwan re. He was a locum doctor, but why that locum doctor on that afternoon came to see her? You have to think about it. You have to comprehend on Swami's word. Don't worry, my daughter, I am there to look after you. This is like Hanuman. Don't worry, you are going through the troubles. I will save you. Don't worry. This is what is happening. Few months later, there was another medical camp was coming in South America. And I did not have the courage to ask her whether she will come or not, because she's a wonderful team leader, very, very firm in her decision making. And to have in the team is my privilege. So I did not ask, but somehow she came to know, and she applied for it, and she came there. And South America is exactly like India, similar type of problems and diseases and tropics and whatnot. She worked very hard. A test comes again. Last 2 days, she did very hard work and everything. Last couple of days, she was not feeling very well. So she has to be admitted in the hospital and everything. I went to see her in the hospital. She smiled. Uncle, I am fine. Don't have to worry about it. That is what exactly the courage and the strength Swami gives. And I tell you, after that, never the family told me that she should not go to the medical. On the contrary, she inspired her young, sisters to join the medical camp. Mother also has attended the medical camp. Whole family so connected. These are the people who inspire us. Now, as I'm talking, the inspiration, I will tell you another little story of a girl when we are talking about. This is on the other side of the story. This is a Russian story. I was in Russia doing a medical camp. A young girl in the teens, she was brought by her mother to be examined. And she's from the Sai organization. When I examined and checked the paper, I knew that she has got a condition which cannot be cured. She has got a terrible condition called Stargardt's disease. And ultimately, most of the people become blind. That is what the ultimate. And looking at this, such a, you can call that girl, it was like a joy to see her. Such a sparkling eyes otherwise. And such a happy face. There, what can I say? Because most of the doctors have already told her that prognosis is not very good. Blindness is the only way. So, but I said that Swami has taught me that if you have a glass which is half full, never say it is half empty, always say half full. With that scenario, I tell, medical science may not have any solution for your condition, but there is always something beyond the medical science. You have got faith in Swami, it will happen. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you, this girl still comes to the medical camp. She went to Swami. She, on advice, she went to Charitable, got some sort of appliances in order to continue her studies. She wanted to do something in the life, and she chose to become a teacher. And I tell you, the teacher are one of the best profession. I can tell you that. How with so much confidence? Look at the scriptures. If the teachers are not there, I could not be a doctor. An accountant could not be an accountant. A scientist could not be a scientist. And that's why the teacher is such an important person. In any field, without them, nobody can go and learn the thing. That's why our scripture says, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parama. That's what she did. Because she wanted to give to the society. With Swami's blessing, she got a wonderful man, married, and then they started planning. The family wanted to have a child. Again, the doctors told her it could be a big risk to have a child. I'm so fortunate, she calls me her dad. She phoned me, what do you think? I said, you've got a faith in Swami. Do you have a strength to become a mother? Don't worry about whether you can have a child. She said, really, in my heart, I want that motherly love of her for a child, to have a child, and Sai mother's love on her has given that courage, and she had a wonderful child. Last camp, she brought her child also. They have in Russia. All the people have to bring their children because they cannot leave. The camps are very long. It's for 15 days camps. They run the bal because for the children, the parents are working in the medical camps or building brigade or various things, those people who have attended. And she is one of the best interpreters. She's one of the wonderful musicians. She sings so well. And this girl was left in my room for a few hours. And I asked her, can you arrange these glasses in number, spectacle glasses? And she went and gave the talk. The story does not finish there. Brother and sister, this girl has introduced Swami's 5 values into her school. And not only this, 2 years ago, she was given the most prestigious award, the best teacher in her region in Siberia. This is what Swami's reward. Many people, when she works with them, they do not know that she does not have a sight. She does not give even a clue. So many doctors from UK and America and Borneo and other places, they come and join. She is like a butterfly in every department she wants to issue. She is wonderful on the stage. She is wonderful in the kitchen. She is wonderful interpreting there. Wherever she can fit, she will do that one because she wants to give something to the society. Without useful sight, she's so useful that you won't believe that what she has given. And her name is Irina. And as you all know, Irina also means in Sanskrit, it's like the fountain. We just give that joy of the flow, and her love flows to us from there. Those people who work, they can never imagine that that girl does not have. And many people, they say, oh, are you blind? She said, no, I'm not blind, but I can't see as much as you see or what you see. That's what exactly. This is what exactly has courage is. This brings to another story to my mind, actually, that how people inspired me. And this is a long time ago. A little girl, 4 years of age, she came to my clinic at Honeypot Lane. This was a long time ago, with a mother, and she was in wheelchair. And I could immediately see that this girl does not have sight, and she was in the wheelchair. This girl may not have the sight, physical sight, but she has given the light to so many people. They came to her in different capacity, family friend, or wherever she worked. I'll tell you the name in the end. Her sister had a minor eye problem with the motility of the eye, and she needed some eye exercises to be cured. But I did not know what happened to me when I saw this little 4-year-old sitting in the wheelchair. I thought I'm not seeing a person. I was seeing some sort of light. I was naturally attracted to her. It's very difficult for a mother to have the 2 children alone to grow, who has got so much problem with the physical. The child was extremely physical children. And let me tell you, she's the only girl in the world who is got a brittle bone syndrome and blind. I don't use the word blind anymore. It's called visually challenged. But just to give you something very important, that she is visually challenged, completely can't see. And can you imagine a person who has got more than 400 fractures into the body? Brittle bone syndrome, for you to just understand, her bones are like chalk. Even if somebody hold her wrongly and shake hand strongly, her bones will break. That is what her condition is. You can well imagine. As the time goes, what can a child like her can do? But she has proved everyone wrong. What she has done, probably many sighted people may not be able to achieve. She did her BA in first class in English. Then she did her MA in special English, specializing in Shakespeare in merit. She was headhunted by many English companies like Scope and Red Cross. When I used to work in Royal National Institute for the Blind, the mother will bring all the 2 girls with her, and the other sister, extraordinary person, has become the barrister. Mother has given all the possible education despite of all the odd. She does not take the credit, and all the family says it is due to Swami. It is because of the Sai people in the Sai organization who helped us. But I can tell you, her strength and courage brought these 2 wonderful flowers, and they are giving fragrance everyone. I used to call my ambassador of hope, because many people will come to me, doctor. We used to run the medical camp in the RNIB. Many of you remember who used to help us in the medical camp. They will come, body ache, I can't see to read, minor problems. I said, talk to Shma. That's what exactly it is. We used to call her ambassador of hope. She has won ample of, recognition and awards. This is so long. And not only this, on the top of that, her, spirituality is beyond our comprehension. I'd like to give an example. She had so many operations. She has got two qualities. She's love, and forgiveness is her biggest quality. Many of the incidences are there in life that she could have challenged somebody who caused some of the problems for her and could have won a lot of money, but no, she has forgiven them. That's what exactly it is. That's a different story, but time is short, so I just wanted to tell you something so important about her, that gradually her body becomes so difficult to bear the lower part of the leg, they decided to amputate her legs. So she had below knee amputation, one after another, both legs. And on the day of the amputation, the surgeons were absolutely astonished and surprised because she thanked the leg that being the part of my body for that long, till that time, and also said goodbye to the leg. The psychologists and surgeons could not believe, but they realized they can use her as a counselor in the hospital for those people who are frightened for the amputation. Just imagine a small girl saying, how many of will think that something which is going out of the body, we should thank that part. You were part of my body for that long. And when you ask, where did you learn? I'll let the cat out. Her name is Ushma Soni, probably you know her very well. She's an amazing singer. When she sings, it is like a feast to your ear. It's not only that she has sung for the Sai organization, she has sung for Mr. Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. She is also the patron of one of the biggest charities there. People are just there. When you go to her, you are walking into the light and you become part of that light. This is what exactly is. Brother and sister, these are the people they inspire. She was such a spark. And that's why she has become an example in the world, not about the achievement, but about her strength. She has gone through such difficulties, and pain is so excruciating for her that no painkiller, including morphine, will touch her. But when you go to her room, whenever she spent most of the time in the hospital, she will never show pain on her face. She will always smile. And when she's in the ward, she's worrying about the next door person who is not well. When the nurse comes to serve her, she will say, please attend to other person. Her condition is most difficult in the world, but she is worried about other people. She gets up first thing in the morning, finish her bath and everything. It is so difficult for her to remove from the bed to the wheelchair, from wheelchair to the chair for the bathroom, but it does so meticulously with us. The reason she takes early in the bath because she wants to pray, not for herself. She wants to pray for the world. Loka, samasta loka, samasta loka. All these years she has known me as an eye doctor, but till now she has never asked me that is there any cure for my eyes? Can I get the vision? The reason is because she is the vision for so many people. She may not have light herself, but she is a light herself. Brother and sister, these are such wonderful people actually who have come in the life. And I'd like to add one more incident actually of commitment of people. This is the story in Africa. And there was a small little child who was brought to the clinic, just about a few weeks old. And the eyes were full of pus. The pus was pouring out. And just without examination, by looking at the eye, I knew what the condition was. Those people who are doctors probably will know that condition called ophthalmia neonatal. It is an infectious disease called gonorrhea, and the child gets infection during the birth passage there. And it is such a serious condition that if the treatment is not implemented immediately, definitely the child will go blind. And there are so many blind children because of treatment. But this girl, this mother knew that there's a medical camp, Sai Medical camp is going. She brought the child. Swami is wonderful. His service is great. Wherever you are working, if you do not have the medicine, I tell you, if you nowadays, forget about those days. Nowadays, if you go onto the computer and look for this thing, order online, and they say this thing is available, it will still take 24 hours to 40. Fastest service will be more than 24 to 48 hours. But I tell you, when pray to the Swami, his service is spontaneous, faster than any DHL service. We prayed because we didn't have the medicine and it was there for us. That is a different miracle I will tell some other time, but I just wanted to talk about the dedication of the person who saved the life, not the doctor. I knew the medicine easily. Swami provided the medicine, but who will implement? The young mother in her late 20s was so worried because she knew that something is not done. That time in my medical camp, there was a registrar from the Moorfield Hospital. When he looked at the child, he says, "You cannot treat this patient in the eye camp. You have to send it to a bigger hospital." The nearest bigger hospital was in 100 miles away, in the wherever we, I think, Sierra Leone and Freetown. Yes, I remember that. So I said, "There is no transport. We have to try here." He said, "No, it is a big risk." I said, "No problem." So that medicine has to be specially prepared, made fresh there. And the treatment is every minute, drop has to instill into the eye for half an hour. Every minute. Then every 5 minutes for another hour. And then every half an hour for 6 hours. And then every hour for the rest of the day and the night. Mother is a poor villager, hygiene and cleanliness, now that you cannot send the child. You have to keep the child there. So we need volunteers. The nurse, Swami always provide the right people. She volunteered herself and said, "I will do it." She sat down there, and you won't believe. This boy was this ophthalmologist from from Moorfield Hospital was at that time so interested what these people are doing. Not only she was putting the drop, she was doing something more than the drop. She made some water with vibhuti, because the child also was needing some water. So she was feeding the vibhuti. And throughout she was saying Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai. Three things. Baba's vibhuti, chanting Sai Ram, with total focus and dedication, she was putting the drops into the eyes of that child. About 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Normally in the hospital, if the child is hospitalized in my hospital or any big university college hospital, I tell you it will take about 3-4 days before somebody can say the eye is saved, because you cannot see the globe because there is so much pus. You won't believe by 4:30 you can see the eyes pus starting disappearing. Not only because of the medicine. Yes, of course, miraculously Swami materialized the medicine, no doubt about it. But at the same time, he had the right instrument to implement every minute for half an hour. She did not bother about eating and drinking herself. Name of the Lord on her lips. And at the same time, she was just giving vibhuti, water to the child, so the child doesn't get dehydrated also. To our utter joy, before we left the medical camp, the child was absolutely fine. Brothers and sisters, if we do not have such dedicated instrument of Swami with us, I can tell you, we cannot achieve. And that's why every country wants the Sai organization to conduct the medical camp, not because we are extraordinary doctors or we have got extraordinary team, but we have got extraordinary faith in the Lord and extraordinary care quality, which Swami has taught us. That is what the beauty of this camp. This incident has been published in British Medical Journal. I can't remember the volume, but you can find out. This is how the tremendous, blessings of the Swami on all of us. It goes without saying, actually, that Swami is our greatest example in the life. He always gives us the opportunity and shows how he can protect. If I have time to finish, one of the things on the Swami is how much he cared for his subjects, students, or anybody who is working outside. This is an incident on 11th January 2000. I must narrate this. You may have read about this incident, but I want to just narrate this. But before I narrate this story, I just wanted to narrate one more story of a little boy. We always think about the age, what age we should start working. Or in my camp, there are people who are 6, 7, 8 years of age to the people who are 84, 85 years old. And these people come to the medical camps where the conditions are so bad sometime in the beginning that we did not have the toilets. We have to literally dig 3 holes actually. Once it failed for our toilets, then fill with the lime, and then move on. In such medical camp, I had an 8-year-old boy who used to, his mother is always my interpreter. This boy used to come and supposed to stay in the camp to learn with the Bal Vikas teachers. This boy once really came to the medical camp and did want to stay in the base camp where the Bal Vikas classes were conducted. He wanted to come. There was no way out. We were getting late. So we had to take that boy with us. And I thought when the people will bring our lunch, we will ask our devotees to take him back because he will get bored by that time. Because I needed to move on from there because the village was quite far from the base camp. And I didn't want to wait the time. I took the child. What to do with the child? So I told him to one thing. His name is Vladimir. I told him, Vladimir, you sit on this little table with the registration desk and you know the English. So you simply do one thing. Translate this Russian name into the English and which department this person is going, whether it's going to child department, eye department, or ENT department, so they can read what the problem. Happily, he sat down there. About 12 o'clock, this was about 9 o'clock. About 12:30, somebody came to me and said, Doctor, that boy has not even taken a sip of water, leave alone eating something, and he has not even gone to the toilet. And Russians love sweets. So, there was plates of sweet in front of him, but he did not even touch it. I was a bit worried. So I went there and I asked him, Vladimir, why you are not drinking or eating something? He said, Uncle, you have gone inside. If I get up and go outside, do you think these people will let this little boy come inside? Gene Massey, who is Swami's photographer, he has worked with Spielberg. He's a wonderful documentary, such wonderful stories of Swami. He attended a few medical camps with me. He has documented this wonderful interview of this boy. He said, if I get up and go to the bathroom, they will not let me come. So if I drink, I will have urged you to go to the bathroom. That's why I don't want to drink or don't want to go to the bathroom so that I can continue doing my work. 8-year-old child. That is the dedication to learn something. Then I realized that some people said when you are working, I met some of the people. He said, oh, don't worry about the food. I'm working for Swami. I'm fine. This boy has really shown that what Swami has told us. Swami has duly rewarded him. When he was grown up, 12, 13 years, Swami has given him a beautiful ring and he became a wonderful musician. He came and especially to Puttaparthi to learn Vedam. He became the youth leader, head of the interpreting department. From little, he has become such a fantastic youth leader. These are the people who inspires you. I think my time is up. I just wanted to finish with a little note of one of the stories which I started about the Swami. 2002, 11th January, the Swami came to the Hillview Stadium and he saw the 2 trucks with a huge metal frame constructed and the boys were supposed to do some sort of acrobatics there. And Swami initially said no, but this really, their enthusiasm was such that Swami could not say no to. Swami sat down and as it went there, one of the boy fell, but then got up as if nothing has happened. People did not realize what happened at that time. At that time, Swami, with a great difficulty, got up and, in the Shanti Vedika in Hindu Stadium, there is a bathroom. And Swami went there. Swami's whole, inner clothes were soaked with the blood. Swami was oozing blood. There was so much pain in his spine and the hip and everywhere. He asked the boys to stay outside the door. He soaked his blood so that it will be a little bit dry. And those towels which were kept to the bathroom, they were all soaked with the blood. Lord of the universe himself washing those clothes and drying, putting on to dry so that people do not realize that something is happening. He came and watched the entire scene. It doesn't finish there. When everything finished, every group wanted to have the picture with Swami. Every items which were there, so many groups, happily Swami allowed them. It was so difficult for him even to move, but nobody knew. 3 days later, Swami has revealed this thing. That boy who fell would have died, but Sai Mother is there to protect. That's what I want to say. When you are working for the Sai Mother, you do not have to fear anything. Swami says, be like my flute so that I can bend down to pick you up and let me flute into that one so world can hear that beautiful music and enjoy. I will finish with the quote of Dr. Abul Kalam. He said, if you want to be like a sun, you have to burn like a sun. Dear friends, you burn and you will shine. Sai Ram. May Swami bless you all. Be safe, be positive. This Karuna will take the Karuna fear away from us. Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram. Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing such beautiful experiences. Many of us often, our faith wavers, and your experiences today has really highlighted and showed how strong our faith should be or could be, and how Swami takes care of every little detail, how he sends the right people at the right time with the right skills without us even knowing it, and how everything is so divinely orchestrated. So you mentioned about how we should be like Hanuman and just serve with that unwavering faith. You mentioned 3 key words around care with respect and quality. You also mentioned that we should, any service that we do should be based on a service of need, not on our convenience. And it was just beautiful. Thank you so much once again. Jai Sai Ram.